All right, Sci-fi Express Lane. One of the reasons why I started doing this Express Lane. My name is Jeff Carroll, sci-fi writer, filmmaker, all that, comic book dude. But one of the reasons why I started this is because I could not fit everything I wanted to say in a readable post on social media. You know, Twitter and Instagram don't give you a lot of space. And if you go on forever on Facebook, it is, nobody's reading it all. So, and then texting or just typing doesn't still have the same energy as if you're talking to somebody. So there's verbal things that, you know, talented writers know how to bring out in their writing. And even with that, it's still very hard to do it in a short period, right? First of all, it's hard to thoroughly communicate in the first place, no matter what medium of expression that is, you know, whether it is verbally, through typing, or any other form, right? Musically, doesn't matter. It's all hard to do it well. And I think speaking is probably the most effective form of communication for certain things, right? And this one I wanted to drop a piece on Ellen DeGeneres, former DJ Twitch, who committed suicide. He was hanging out with his father like 4 days ago. He had kids, he had a beautiful wife, or, you know, a marriage, whatever, you know, they say. I don't know what she looks like. I hope she's beautiful. But anyway, he was happy, right? And he took his own life. And, you know, I hear people, I'm doing this more so for people that are living, you know, both on the dark side, right, of depression and mental illness, and for the people who want to help people who are on the dark side. And never committing suicide, right? Never even attempting it. Just flirting with the idea when I was little, a little bit, a few years ago, you know, I thought about it. Hey, what would the world be without me? And I think, you know, for me, adolescence was rough, right? And, you know, I was grappling with family acceptance and friendship acceptance. So as an only child, that beat me down. As an adult, I think it was embracing my pivot and starting all over again. And I say that because I can talk about it in an approximate way, where I think for people who are dealing with mental health issues and self-esteem issues and depression and whatever you want to call it, understanding your situation is vital to you staying alive in your survival and your mental health. I don't hate on certain people who commit suicide, because unless you're like a murderer and you did some real bad things, you know, it is not a good decision. You got loved ones, you got family, friends, like this DJ Twitch, you know. I will address that. For the people that have done some bad stuff and they're about to get caught, hey, that's a different type of suicide. I might even agree. You Jeffrey Dahmer, and you take your life, you know, I'm like, good for you, you know. But for the other group of people, I will say like this: it gets so dark sometimes you can slip up, you know, and that's why you don't play with guns. You don't play with depression. You don't play with the dark side, because it gets so dark that you're not thinking straight. And if you let your depression get that deep, you can do something that is not a decision that you would have made if you weren't going through the dark side, right? If you weren't lights out. So I say get help. I don't care whether it's a family, friends, or professional help. For me, I used all of the above, And I learned coping skills. I learned how to identify when I'm feeling bad, right? And first you gotta take care of yourself. Can't nobody help you. There ain't no Jesus that can walk and say, feel better, my child. You have to feel it. I think maybe a hypnotist could do it, but I don't think it's permanent. And you can't rely on a hypnotist all the time. I don't even know how many times you can be hypnotized, okay? So I don't think that is a permanent solution. What is permanent is you learning how to identify when you feel bad, learn your triggers, right? Triggers are things that make you feel that way, right? Whatever gets you, in that zone. And it may be new stuff, right? You might have a list that grows, and you can write it down or you can keep it mentally. I like to keep mine mentally. I don't necessarily forget my triggers. However, I'm so quick at learning new triggers, I do it. And sometimes it don't happen right away. I have to go to sleep on it. I have to calm myself down, get myself back into my feelings and move it. However, I will say this. You also not only have to learn how to identify your triggers and recognize when you're not feeling good, you have to learn things that make you happy, that get you out of that sunken place. What is it that messes you up? It's only one thing. It's just identifying the problems, knowing your triggers. What are your coping skills? How do you plan to deal with it, improve it? What makes you happy? A lot of things make people happy. I love sex, right? That can make you happy, but you can't always rely on that. You know what I'm saying? Can't always rely on that. It changes as you get older. People go through stress, and other people have problems. You want to run around here and hire prostitutes. So I like triggers coping skills that you can do yourself. I'm not hating on sex. Yay. I use it. It makes me feel good, whatever. But I don't rely on it. You understand? And to be honest, if you're really involved with somebody, they don't want to be having sex with somebody that's going through something emotionally. You're not giving the best sex always. Excuse me. So, coping skills like me, when I used to be stressed for getting to a show on time, I used to have a cassette track of songs. So it would be like a playlist that would calm me down, take me into the mode. What I do is I stay on top of my feelings. So I stay on top, surround myself with happy people, positive people. You bring me down, you negative people. I may not have the emotional currency. Yo, Jeff, how come you didn't call me in a while? I ain't got time for that right now. I only see you maybe once or twice a week because I can't do it. You know how people say, I need a drink? Well, when people say I need a drink, I say I can't be around that person right now because you suck up my energy. And right now I need the energy for myself. And then I also say, like for me, I love deflection, right? So I deflect with escapism. I deflect with going to sci-fi movies, reading sci-fi books, reading sci-fi comics, talking to people about the future, speculating about things like that. I'm a hotep. I concern myself with the well-being of the world and the country and the state of black people. And I can't think about that all the time. It was an overload during the Trump years. Probably what triggered my depression was part and parcel to Obama and Trump, talking to my friends who was Obama bashing. It's just got crazy. So for me, I take a break from politics. Can't talk politics all the time. Not to mention, I can't solve everything all the time. I can only work towards solutions, and I'm a teacher. So part of me teaching is preparing kids to address problems in the future. So I look at that. So what else? That is another coping skill. Looking at the problems optimistically, right? Taking full stock of the problems, taking full stock of your contributions and evaluating your situation. And sometimes people don't take stock of themselves and thinking slowly about your situation and what's stressing you is a real coping skill. So the other thing I would say is for the other people in the world. These are the people that want to help people. What can I do to help you? There's nothing wrong with that. I want to help people that are depressed. I want to help people that are sad. And I do that. I used to represent a bunch of comedians who did nothing but make people happy. That's what you do. You don't say, oh man, feel better. You do something that might make them happy. You spread joy, smile at them. A lot of times, the last thing you might want to do is talk to the person about their problem. Now, you can be a sounding board, you can be a listening ear. But if a person doesn't necessarily want to talk to you about their problems, is because sometimes talking about problems are stressful. It brings back that stress. You understand? So I don't want to talk about it. And respect that. You know what I'm saying? Now, for the person that's going through the stress, yeah, they need to talk about it. They need to find somebody and talk about it. Pressuring them to talk about it, unless you're real good friends with them, that isn't always something that's good to do. Let people, come to you, make yourself available, and keep it moving. You know what I'm saying? So that's something you could do. Just make people happy. I guess fall back, because I hate when people ask me, not always hate, but I'm not really big on when people say, yo, what's your problem? What's really going on, Jeff? Sometimes I don't want to tell them, and sometimes I don't want to talk about it. You know what I'm saying? So that is what I suggest. Spread joy, be a happy, positive person. You know what I'm saying? Don't be angry, don't confront people, don't be a mean person. If you want to help people, you never know who's depressed. Stop being a hater. You understand? Because those are the things that mess people up. And I mean, mind you, we can say things like, I remember Pierre on his little piece that he did. His podcast is big, but he did a small commentary, and he was saying that, coming up to artists particularly and saying, yo, I used to like you, or you used to be my man, talking about them in the present time, in past tense, can trigger them, because they may think, damn, nigga, I'm still somebody, and you're talking about me like I'm not who I always was. You used to be real funny. No, son, don't do that. But we can't do that by accident, right? Because we might have really liked them before, and just they're not in no movies right now. They're not doing their stand-up right like that no more. You just haven't seen them in a while. So be careful. But what I can say is those accidents you can't really do nothing about. You just try to be mindful. However, the hating, you can. People that hate, you can't complain about people committing suicide because you might be contributing to it. So what I'll say is spread joy, spread love. It's the Brooklyn way, like Biggie used to say. All right. Anyway, that's it. This is my piece on suicide, depression, and all of that. So it's something that I dealt with as a person, as a human being. Might be triggered by my little Kickstarters. Hey, my wife be like, oh, you gonna do another Kickstarter? And they make their money, but there's some periods in that time where that Kickstarter be really moving slow. So that's it. All right, touch base with you later. Like, subscribe, share, and comment.